Are you okay? You don't look so good.
I don't know. My head's really pounding.
Hey, is everything going okay? The shift's ending soon, so we should get this wrapped up.
Whoa. Yes, let's go. I'm not feeling that great.
That's not good. You guys need to get out of there now. Well, you look a lot better. Did they give you oxygen?
Yeah. When they put the mask on me, I finally felt like I could get a full breath of air. But my head didn't stop pounding for a while.
This is a wake-up call for all of us. We need to talk about what happened. Asphyxiants are serious hazards that can deprive us of oxygen and lead to life-threatening situations.
You sound like an infomercial, but I get it now. I was in pretty rough shape and didn't even realize I was in danger.
You were, Renee, but it's strange. I was in the tank with you, but didn't feel as bad as you did. Why was Renee so affected?
I'm glad you brought that up, and I bet you'll figure it out as we talk. Let's start with basic types of asphyxiants. Mechanical asphyxiants physically block your oxygen intake. Think of solids or liquids, like soil or water. You can feel when you're in danger of mechanical asphyxiation. Other asphyxiants are more subtle, like yesterday's toxic gas. Let's look at the hazards of the gases we tend to work around.
But isn't it pretty basic? A high enough level of these gases in your environment would keep you from getting enough oxygen. Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, it's true. They deprive you of oxygen, but think about yesterday. Renee had symptoms. Sam didn't. Renee thought he was coming down with something, which was a reasonable assumption. If you're aware of the way these hazards affect you, you can take the right precautions to mitigate the risk of exposure. Let's think back to yesterday morning. How'd you feel at the start of the job, Renee?
I felt fine at first. I didn't see or smell anything unusual, and my morning coffee had kicked in. I was good to go.
Then what?
I started feeling tired and sluggish.
Were you concerned at all?
Not really. My kids have been sick, and I didn't have the best sleep, so I thought I was just tired.
And what happened next?
I tried to power through the work, but it's like I was in a daze.
Some toxic gases, like carbon monoxide, don't cause any pain or irritation.
Yeah, I really had no idea what was happening. An hour later, my head was pounding, and I felt sick to my stomach. I thought I was coming down with something.
We need to pay attention to these kind of symptoms. Feeling dizzy, nauseated, confused, or short of breath. At that point, you still have a chance to leave the environment and move to fresh air.
I had no idea why my monitor was going off. That tank was clean. We certainly weren't expecting any airborne hazards.
The tank was clean, so it was a reasonable assumption. But unexpected things happen, and when we come into contact with an asphyxiant, especially in confined spaces, the results can be deadly.
I'm starting to see why knowing these gases is so important.
Yeah. If I'd known my symptoms were signs of carbon monoxide exposure, I'd have been out there sooner.
You were experiencing the effect of a chemical asphyxiant. Chemical asphyxiants are toxic gases that interfere with how our bodies use oxygen in a variety of ways. The toxic gas in this case was carbon monoxide, CO, which blocks the delivery of oxygen to other parts of the body. When we breathe in normal environments, oxygen enters the bloodstream and attaches to red blood cells, which flow throughout the body to deliver oxygen to organs and tissue. Carbon monoxide attaches more readily to our red blood cells, so inhaling it reduces the amount of oxygen delivered to our body.
I was in that tank almost 4 hours, and didn't feel bad until the last hour or so. Was I slowly being deprived of oxygen the whole time?
The truck's exhaust was being pumped into the tank through the ventilation tube for the entire shift.
Meaning that the concentration of carbon monoxide was building that whole time.
So, if the CO was building like that, but I wasn't as affected as Renee, was the gas coming in and rising?
That's right. In this case, the ventilation tube was pointed upward, and the exhaust fumes were warmer than the air in the tank. This led to the carbon monoxide, which is slightly lighter than air, rising and accumulating in the upper area of the tank. Not all toxic gases work the same way, though. Hydrogen sulfide is heavier than air, so it would sink and sit at the bottom of a confined space.
And you'd smell it.
Yes, unless it's highly concentrated, then it impairs your sense of smell.
Next time we do this type of work, we need to consider what's happening nearby and how it could affect our work environment.
Absolutely. I'm glad we got out of there when we did. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, we got lucky. All right, let's take a short break here and recall any times we've worked around toxic gases. How can we make sure we're working safely?
Will do. Thanks, boss.
Thanks.
Much appreciated.
Consider how asphyxiants could impact you, and share stories of any incidents that others could learn from. Visit Energy Safety Canada to learn more about what it takes to safely complete work.